Hi, my name is Jesse, and welcome to Simply Built. Today, we are going to snap out a house and show you all the steps involved in it. Today, we have a 2,800 square foot house, beautiful views, simple floor plan. So some of the tools you'll need today to snap out a house easily and efficiently are going to be a dry string line, a good chalk box, 100-foot tape. Metal ones are preferred because the vinyl ones can stretch. Clear lacquer spray. This is important, so after you snap all your lines, you can spray them with the clear lacquer. You can still see the line, but if it rains, like it might later today, your lines won't get washed away or smudged. Another thing you'll need, probably the most important, is a good clear set of plans. Here we have plans that have both the architectural layout, floor plan layout, as well as our engineering. This will show us where all of our beams are, any headers, any special shear walls that we need to pay attention to, as well as hold downs and other engineering items. Oh, and a tall cup of brew. So one of our first steps that we want to do is find 2 control lines to be able to snap everything square and to the closest of our ability to get that measurement as possible. This house, as you could see, doesn't really have any continuous walls that run majority of the length of the house or the depth of the house without jogging more than once even. So we'll have to get a little bit creative here, but ultimately the goal is to find 2 lines perpendicular to each other that you can make a giant square to make sure that that slab is 100% square and good enough to frame on. And then we will just pull any wall measurements that come off of that parallel off of that line. Today's will be a little bit more of a challenge, but we'll help you through it step by step. So one of the first things that we want to do is take our 100-foot tape, and we're going to pull some overall measurements in random places around the house just to find out how close this concrete slab is to the numbers that we have on the plan. We also pulled some square measurements, kind of isolating certain parts of the house into squares of their own. Found out that it's not square, which is pretty typical with concrete. We usually don't get a perfect slab no matter how big or small. So the 2 lines that we're gonna put in here are one that goes from front to back of the house, and that'll be over here on the western side of the house. And then almost in the middle of the overall floor or footprint of the house, we'll throw a perpendicular line that comes all the way across from the garage to the bedroom on the other side of the house. That'll allow us to pull all of our parallel and perpendicular measurements off of those lines per plan and to keep everything square. The snap, well, we got to sweep a little. We still haven't done that. We're going to pull a couple numbers here to get our control line where it needs to go. This is going to be our north to south control line. Right here, we're going to go 16'6". And there's going to be a wall here later. Right back this way. 10'10". The X is noting location of the wall. You're on your mark though?
Yeah.
So I got to go like a good 1/8, which is probably about 3/8 down here.
I'm on my mark.
Yeah, that is pretty dang nice. I'll snap one, you snap one.
What happened, Jesse?
Well, we got a mark that's off by about 2.5 inches. I mean, part of it's just snapping a line based off of 2 measurements that are both on that end. So your chances of being off down here are pretty great.
Right.
But usually not by that much. But this is working amazing, by the way.
New hack, dude.
Framer hack.
Life tip. Get a wet rag.
Microfiber. Now it's 1.5 1/4 ish. I think that's still way better than what we had. You got her?
Yep. Shmoney.
Take 2. Action. Actually, come back a little bit that way. Right there. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and lacquer these lines so that our control lines are now permanent and we can refer to them throughout the project. With our 2 control lines snapped and square, we can now start pulling some of our measurements off of our 2 lines so that everything's coming out square. Now in some instances we might have a little bit of concrete showing, or our framing might even be hanging off a little. But after pulling all these measurements, we're confident knowing that it won't be a lot and it won't be problematic for us. So with that, we'll start pulling some measurements. So here you have a whole house snapped out. All we have left to do is clear spray all of our intersections and lines so that they don't wash away in the rain or get blown away by wind. One important thing to remember about the time you put in to snapping out a house is that it's going to make it that much easier when you go to frame it. So we're going to add some details to doorways, specifying the sizes, header heights, any overhead beams or bearing points that are important to the roof above. And we'll have more videos coming throughout different phases of the framing project, things that you can pick up on and learn to make your job easier, to work more efficiently, to work a little bit faster. In future videos, you'll obviously get to see things happening in a vertical way instead of just horizontally. And we'll touch on other things like just tricks and tips that we've learned along the way, the importance of safety, the importance of material utilization, so you're not just wasting a lot of material along the way. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and check out some of our future videos as they come. Thanks a lot.